Yo, guys, what's going on? Lucky Raid is back again to give you guys my live stream discussion slash review on Fairy Tale 100 Years Quest, episodes 8 and 9. Like I said, live stream discussion slash review. And first of all, let me just say, I apologize that there was an unintentional you know, gap between me doing the episode 7 stream and, doing a, double stream. That wasn't actually part of the plan. And something I have mentioned before in the past is that, with me going back into work, obviously it was going to be somewhat tough for me to, talk about, the anime on a week to week basis, like on Mondays. Because primarily, for anybody new, when the 100 Years Quest anime started, I would save my live stream discussions for Mondays. That's what it would be saved for. Each episode live stream discussion will be having on Mondays. But the problem is your boy, Lucky Rave here, was stuck with work after a given point. So since last month, I've kind of just been stuck on work. And that led me to two options. Either I could try to save it for doing it later on in the day, late at night, which I wouldn't mind doing, but I would rather do these streams when I'm at my 100%. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to tackle these streams when I'm at my 100%. And probably the most obvious spot I would have been able to do it is today, which is Saturday. But last couple Saturdays I've just been caught off guard with a couple things. And that being said, though, I know episode 9 is a big one I want to talk about. It's episode 9 in particular. But we have to talk about episode 8 because episode 8, woo, oh my god, dude. Episode 8 of 100 Years Quest is the definition of fun. Okay, it is definitely the most fun within the series, without a shadow of a doubt. But also there's I'm saying this as I'm doing the stream, but there's one thing I forgot to that's just a link, a couple folks, hey, there's a stream going on. Perfect. Okay. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Anyway, going back to what I was saying with episode 8 in particular. So we ended up episode 7 at the halfway point of chapter 25. And basically, what we get with the remainder of chapter 25, and this is easy, okay? So you get the reactions from Natsu, Lucy, and Gray about, the guild. Like, oh, Fairy Nail. It's just like the name of our guild. And then you get I think it's not Icarus. Not that. I think it's Ikis is how you say her name. But she says, "Welcome to the Talon Guild Fairy Nail." And Urza's like, "Fairy Nail?" To which Wendy goes like, "You mean for actors or something? We work in many fields, singing and modeling, and yes, of course, acting. Talk about coincidence. You all look just like our guild you all look just like our guild talents." And Urza goes on to say, "I have to admit, you and I look very similar. You you nailed it too." That talk about a pun reference there. I just noticed I was like, huh, talk about a major pun reference. And since you're here, want to take a look inside? And everyone's super excited. Well, at the very least, Natsu's excited. Gray in the bag is a little bit so it's I'm not so sure about the same thing with Urza. Wendy's kind of curious, and then Lucy's like, I wonder. This is, I don't get good vibes from this. And oh my god, dude. We have to talk about Naku, okay? Because the big thing here, I want to say here in particular, episode 8 was like heavy emphasis on the ships. I'm not even lying. It was heavy emphasis on the ships, okay? Because you have the Natsu counterpart, which is, Naki. I think it's Naku, right? Let me double check and see. Yeah, Naku. So it's Naku, and then there's the Lucy counterpart, which is Lucia. And again, I'm not going to delve super deep into episode 8, but basically, the funniest part that happens here with Natsu and Lucy's counterparts in particular, let's just say, Naku treats Lucia a certain way and he's not satisfied. So he takes her off into a corner, and Lucy is like super, like, not, I wouldn't even say disturbed. Not necessarily disturbed, but she gets like so like PO'd about it. She's like, no, 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 no. I need to have a word with this guy. And she walks outside super flustered. And oh my god. Um actually, hold on. Let me get these names correctly. Just to make sure. Like, okay, Naku, Lucia, Gren. There was one more person I'm forgetting. Elkis. There we go. Yeah, okay. Perfect. Elkis was the one I was like having trouble remembering. That's the Urza counterpart. So you got her saying like, I warned you that you shouldn't have gone there. But in between all of that, we learned about Gray's counterpart. His name is Gran. He's a pole dancer. And Gray's like, he strips for people. And Lucy's a bit kind of shocked. She's like, wait, you're embarrassed by that? But again, I don't want to delve too much into this. Basically, we found about Juvia, or Juvina in this case, and she's a topless dancer. Case in point. And her and Gray kind of have a thing going on. Okay? Then you have Wendell, who is the Wendy counterpart. And she's a gifted child actor. And what she can do, as what all many gifted child actors are capable of, many different expressions in less than zero point 0.5 seconds. I'm like, dang. Oh my god. And not then you have the exit side of things too, which is kind of funny. So you have Happy and Carla, right? What you have over here is, Charlotte, who's basically, Charlotte in human form, right? But she has like the fake cat ears on, and her cat is actually named Babby, and Babby's an actual cat. So, and even Happy points out it too, like, huh? I'm just a regular cat. Kind of funny, honestly. Um, you do get some other stuff too with the other guild members, which is actually kind of cool. But Urza asks Elkis, like, "Hey, so what about you?" And she says, like, I'm a stage actress, but when it comes to stuff that I can do, well, I can't necessarily say I'm like super great at it." And like I said, this is where like you have the stuff with Naku and Lucia, okay? Like off in the corner, and like I said, Lucy gets super flustered by what she sees. Basically, they were having a time of their life, okay? That was what was happening. They were having the time of their lives, and Lucy's like, I cannot believe what I just saw. And like when Natsu asks Lucy, she can't even look at him straight. She's like, uh, yeah, how about we not talk about that? Because that's kind of embarrassing, okay? That's kind of embarrassing because I don't really want to talk about what just happened, okay? Um, there's actually a little bit of a side plot here that happened where Urza actually takes Elk's spot because Urza does like going into like acting, right? We've known about that side of Urza for like a long time, but Urza's thinking like, "Oh my god, they love me," and Lucy's just like, "How dumb can she be?" Oh, dude, that part was funny. But what you got from here? And I'll lay this out flat. Basically, Juvina takes Gray out on a date. And we come to find out specifically that when it comes to Juvina, because Juvina is like meant to be like a not a porn star. No, not a porn star. More specifically, just a topless dancer, right? But we actually come to find out throughout this whole date that Gray has with Juvina because they're talking about like how things are with she's talking about Gren, he's talking about his Juvia. It's a pretty sweet moment. It's actually kind of funny that you have Gray getting all flustered because, well, Juvina's topless, right? That's one on the house. But of course, you do come to find out that okay, these two are an item. That's a thing. Um, Going from there. By the way, Juvina's not a topless dancer yet, so that's a thing too. I'm trying to remember exactly. Okay, so here's what I was gonna say this. Juvina just mentions to Gray that basically she just dances with a swimsuit. So think of it. I don't necessarily say a swimsuit model, not necessarily that, but she always likes to joke with Elkis about it. Like, oh yeah, it's so easy to tease her and everything. Pretty amusing actually. And oh my god, okay, the tracksuit that Lucy wears, dude, she is okay. Lucy's always stunning, but the fact that the animators gave her pink and yellow, I'm just sitting here thinking, like, guys, how much more obvious are y'all gonna make this for Nalu? Like, just how much more obvious is this gonna be? Because that just said so much for Nalu, and I was in for it. Okay, I was like so super in for it. Okay, and then of course you have Juvia running in the gray, like the real Juvia, to which Luce, to which Gray actually thought that was Juvina, but she's like, no, it's not that. And then you get to chapter 27, and I want to stress one thing on this, okay? Chapter 27 marks the end of volume 3. So, what I'm about to get into right here is the end of volume 3. Now, something should be noted here with the end of volume 23. And like I said, this is going to be the most I'll talk about what we delve into because the big case in point, the cliffhanger of Volume 3 was the gang making it to Drasil, and they see Aldoron. Like once Lucy points together, like puts the pieces together as to like what the town of Drasil is. Like, wait a second, there's so many towns, and what we're standing on is just the hand of the wood dragon god. And I remember thinking to myself, like, whoa, that dragon is huge. That's what she said. But needless to say, much like with the last episode, this was not the actual end point of the episode. No, we actually cover. I want to say just a little bit. Okay, we cover a little bit into. I want to say like the opening few pages of chapter 28, the start of volume 4. We cover a little bit into that. Um, Someone leads the guild. I said the guild, but they lead Natsu, Lucy, Gray, Juvia, and well, actually not Juvia in particular. Well, actually, no, yeah, Juvia's there. Juvia's there. They lead everyone to the guild hall, okay, or at least to the spot, like the Saint Church, if you will. Ration. I'm hoping I say that correctly. It's the Saint Ration Church. That's where they lead them. And essentially, there are these hooded figures. They look like cultists, right? And who we get is Mira Jane, and we get other members too, like other members from the guild. We got Loxus, we got Big Slow, Evergreen. Who cares? I was gonna say Mess, but who cares about Mess? Lisana's there. Machow's there. I'm talking about Elfman. Romeo's there too. Um, Siegfried's there, and then of course you got Makarov and then Gajeel and Levy. You got them too. A couple of other folks in the back also. But this was the big cliffhanger for the episode, and I thought for episode 8 in particular, again there was a lot of fun stuff there. Okay, it was mostly a fun episode, but you do get a little bit of stuff regarding the story, more so with Aldoron, getting a little bit of like what it is, just how massive he is in scope. And plus, I will say this: the one thing the anime did, because this dude was kind of big in the manga, but the way they had like the music in the background and the way they showcased him, like Alderon had a presence to him in episode 8. I was just like, whoa, oh my god, this dude. Like there was a sense of fear when it came to Alderon. And that's not a bad thing. I actually think that's a really good thing that they gave him that in more ways than one. So much more. And having said that, though, this is where we get into episode 9, okay? And episode 9, gonna lay out super, super simple, okay? Episode 9, everyone's reacting. Lucy's like, what? What's everyone doing here? Like, even Urza's gonna shock, too. Jalal, even you? What in the world is this? And then you got the White Mage herself. This isn't Toka. Toka is nowhere to be seen. This is the White Mage persona. She's like, the truth is, Aldoron means a little to me at this moment. Yet he possesses a great magic that must one day be effaced by White. But now it is you who matter. Once I have you, all of fairy tale will be mine. And Natsu's asking, like, wait, who the heck are you? And the White Mage is like, oh, that's so sad. Toka kept, like, clinging on to you for dear life, Natsu-sama. Oh, only to be forgotten. And he's like, wait, what? What are you talking about? And she's like, wait a second. Mirror Jane, what is the meaning of this? I believe we are short of several people. You only brought Natsu and the others as you ordered. I said to bring them all. And obviously, Mirror Jane feels kind of bad about this. Urza's super confused, like, wait, this isn't really how Mirror Jane likes to. Not necessarily how Mirror Jane likes to act, but more so she's like, what are you talking about, Mira? And then she orders Elfman and Lisana to punish Mirror Jane. And I'm like, that is. Like, in this moment, I did feel bad for Mira. I really did. I was like, just like, wow. We really went there. We really went there with little sis and little bro. Just like, not tarnishing Big Sis. Obviously, not that. Not tarnishing Big Sis, but more or less, in this case, let me word it like this. More or less, just berating her. Not to tell them to stop, and then, of course, you have Gajeel stepping in, telling Natsu to stay out of it. And Lucy's like, wait, what's going on? And then Jalal is like exchanging glares at Urza, and she's a bit confused too. And Lucy's thinking this is all just a bad dream. Let it be a bad dream. But the White Mage says, is it your fault they all aren't here, Toka? And then, we cut over to where Juvia passed out. Okay, because Juvia kind of used up a bit too much magic. And goes on to say, like, they're all under the control of the White Mage. Juvia has been given a message for you by Toka, the other personality who lives in the White Mage. That's one hell of a story. She's left them all for you now. I don't know why, but I do know she could and would kill them all on a whim. That's the end of chapter 28. Now, chapter 29 is pretty simple, okay? Because, and this is, again, just going more into episode 9. And I'm sorry if I'm moving around, guys. My legs just feeling a little bit on the uncomfortable side. Let's just say that right now. So I don't have to move my leg just a tad bit. But anyway, um, Natsu asks like, "What did you do to them?" And the white mage says, "I dyed them white. Believe me, I'm doing you a favor." White, and she tries to drain the magic from like Natsu, Urza, and Lucy. It doesn't really work out. But Wendy steps in to save the day. They all try to get out. Actually, not even try. They do actually make it out. But they do escape, which is good. They are able to escape, which is a great thing. Okay, they're able to do that. They try to devise a plan on what to do. You have a pretty funny moment here where Juvia defines Toka as someone who has a crush on Natsu, and Natsu's kind of just like, excuse me, come again? And Lucy's like, oh, deeply in love, huh? I didn't know you had another secret, another secret admirer. Okay, she doesn't exactly say it like that, but you get the drift here of what is trying to say. You get the idea of what Lucy is saying to Natsu. Like, oh, there's a girl after you? Ain't that up first? As if she's not admitting, like, oh yeah, there's also me too, but let's forget about me. Like, let's forget about me. Obviously, I'm not the one that's in the focus here. But Juvia goes on to explain her situation and what was going on while everybody was dealing with mercphobia. And she goes on to say, like, because originally, once she had whited out everyone in Fairy Tale, the White Mage simply planned to kill us. Because of the loss of the Water Dragon, we had all been left alive. But except for me and the group of you, the entire guild is still under her control, and everyone's still kind of like left to shook as to like what they're supposed to do, right? But needless to say, there's an earthquake that happens, and because of this earthquake, it's mostly due to Aldoron, the Wood Dragon God. He never moves this tower. That's what they all say. And basically, a battle starts to ensue, okay? You have Kana, you have Lox as they're breaking off the orbs, and the White Mage is going on to say, that's the orb in the right hand. The orb in the right hand. And, like, basically, this is like the link between the White Mage and Juvia. And everyone's like witnessing all this. Like, wait a minute, what's going on? So the White Mage is ordering the Fairy Tale Guild, go forth and destroy all the orbs, and that prompts every the main team, right, to find everyone and stop them from basically destroying the orbs. Like that's the main gist of what's happening here. So everyone has to do what they can, and you basically kind of get a battle of fairy tale scenario. In this case, well, let's say it like this, because everyone remembers the Battle of Fairy Tale arc. That the festival arc in Fairy Tale. Woo, dude, that was what the Thunder Palace and everything like that was amazing. Okay, I don't think anyone can deny that the Battle of Fairy Tale was one of the best, if not the best parts of the Fairy Tale anime, especially early on too. Okay, like that was super super early on. And I'll tell you this right now, what we're getting with this episode, we're only scratching the surface. Let me just say that right now. We are only just scratching the surface here. Because what we get here with the remainder of the episode, okay, Natsu goes off to look for some fun, to take on members of Fairy Tale, like just bash them, right? Basically, typical Natsu. He wants to go in and, well, I get the point of view because he wants to battle each of the members. Just because, yo, it's fun. We're finally gonna do something. But it's also because, well, there's an orb, and they get to the orb, it gets destroyed. But in the process, basically Natsu, he's all fired up. That's the gist of it, right? Everyone's kind of left to split up. Urza's thinking about Jalal in the moment. He's like, wait, what's he doing here? Maybe I shouldn't think about that. Like, That fool's always meddling with things. And then you got Toga just thinking, listen to me, my fairy tale followers. You have two objectives. First, destroy the remaining orbs so as to defeat Aldoron. And second, to deal with Natsu, Lucy, Gray, Urza, and Wendy, and those cats. Eliminate all those who would stand against the creed of white magic. And then you've got the expressions, the very sinister like expressions on Gajeel, Levy, Panther Lily, the Thunder Legion, got Jalal, got the Strauss siblings, got the other characters too, Makarov, Lucy, so you get Gray and Juvia. Bring them all on at once. That's what I'm not just saying. There's also you do also kind of like a very cute, tender Groovia moment too, which I thought was actually kind of sweet, where she's telling Gray like, I can't really use my magic. I'm gonna be a little bit useless here. Would you mind protecting me? And again, in a very cutesy way, as like how Juvia likes to be, right? And Gray says, "Well, just stay close to me. That's all." And of course, Juvia wants to say, "Can you say it to me one more time?" And that's before like we cut to Big Slow just intervening, like intervene, intervene, intervening. It's the right word I'm gonna use here. He's there. Oh, like, hey, remember the Battle of Fairy Tale? How about you and I two get out one more time? Okay, let's do this. But it's not just him. Like, Siegfried is also there. Same thing with Evergreen. She's there too. They're about to take him on. And then Lucy bumps into the Strauss siblings, okay? She runs into Mira, Lisana, and Elf. And things get kind of crazy, okay? So she goes ahead to summon Loki. She goes on to summon Virgo. And they're like, okay, there's three of us against three of them. We can do this. We can take them on. We'll be fine. And of course, Natsu runs into Mockout. Mockout and Wakaba. And like they're taken out within like a sitch. And I'm not gonna lie. For a second in the anime, I kind of forgot about this, but as soon as Romeo popped up, for a split second, I was like, wait a second. Are we about to get Natsu versus Romeo? That's an interesting matchup because we've never seen how Romeo is against Natsu. And then I quickly remembered, oh wait, Natsu just takes out Romeo like that. So yeah, Romeo gets knocked out like very easily. But this is where Gajeel shows up. They're about to have their clash, which is really, really cool. Okay. It's actually nice to see the two of them just have their fight against one another. And then you get the last chapter of episode 9, which is just chapter 31. And that chapter, by the way, is called a Fairy Face Off. And this part of the fight, I want to say, is amazing. Got Natsu pulling off his moves, same thing with Gajeel. Both of them like claim to one another that they're not as weak as they once were. Gajeel pulling off the Iron Shadow Dragon mode, and then the same thing with Natsu pulling off the Lightning Fire Dragon mode too. Like both these modes are really, really cool. And in midst of all that, what did we have? We had Panther Lily, not coming across, but like just showing up in front of Happy. And I'm gonna be honest here. This is one part I actually kind of like forgot about for a moment because as soon as Panther Lily showed up, I kind of thought to myself, dude, if Panther Lily's here to take on Happy, like Happy's gone. Happy's not gonna stand a chance at all to take on Panther Lily. But Panther Lily notices some kind of like immense energy with the Natsu and just says, yeah, how about I don't do that? No. I'ma just like let you be. But this fool Happy is gloating, okay? He's gloating because he pulls out a fish and just whacks Lily like across the back of the head and just like knocking him out. And he's like, yes, I did it. I knocked him out. And I mean, technically speaking, Happy, you only did it because you caught him off guard. But if this was like a, let's be real, if this was a serious fight between Lily and Happy, oh, you know for a second, Lily would have been like MVP without a shadow of a doubt. Not even MVP. He would have like mopped the floor with that. Okay, would have. Obviously, that's not what happens. But this is where we get to like the stuff I want to talk about because this part was cool. So Mira goes into like her Satan mode, and that instantly turns on Virgo. She's like, "Oh, please torment me. I love being humiliated." And that's exactly what happens. It's like they ask for another, and she gets gonna beat up again. She's like, "Wow, really asking for too much." And then Loki decided to take on Elfman, saying, "Hey, hands off against Lucy. That's my bride to be, and I'm the leader of the 12, celestial keys. I'm that guy." And she's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, okay, just do what you got to do, okay? I just need you to do that." And Elfman going into like his beast takeover mode, going into lion form, right? And he claims to Loki, "Okay, you're the celestial spirit of lion, right? So let's see here which one of us is the real lion here." And then you have Lisana stepping in, going against Lucy, which I have to think this is the first time, right? I don't think we've ever had like a full on, Lucy versus Lisana fight. And I remember thinking about this in the manga when it first happened, and I was like, that's an interesting matchup. It's a really, really interesting matchup because, well, let's say it like this. Lisana, I personally liked her as a character. I really liked her. Her backstory with Natsu and everything. Liked her, right? But she has been a character post, what was it? Edless. Yeah, so post Edless, Lisana really hasn't had like much of a role. Okay, there wasn't much of a role that Lisana's actually had a chance to play. So getting this like matchup where Lucy's taking on Lisana, I think is really fascinating. It's really, really cool to see. And Lucy's like begging Lisana, like, "Hey, Lisana, please open your eyes." And Lisana's like, "You're the one whose eyes will be open, Lucy. The moment you dyed white." Gosh, I don't even know what you're talking about. And she's like just thinking, like, man, she's so fast. But I have a new trick of my own. And she pulls off, you know, not okay. Let me word it like this. She showcases the emblem on her left hand. I'm sorry, this might hurt a little. And Lisana's thrown off by this. She's like thinking, wait, hold on. That crest, I don't recall you having that before. And the way the anime did this, okay, because I loved seeing this moment in the manga. Okay, this moment in the manga, oh my god! Like when Lucy had this transformation, this chapter, this cliffhanger, because this is the cliffhanger for chapter 31. And I remember thinking, oh my god, we are getting more stuff for Lucy, and I love it. I love how we all kind of thought, okay, the peak of Lucy's character arc, her development as a celestial wizard, would have been what she pulled off in the final arc, right? Like pulling out the fairy sphere, like gathering everybody together to meld their magical energies together to take that Agnologia, right? We thought that was the peak of Lucy. No, 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 no. That is not the peak. That is not the peak that we're seeing with Lucy Hartfield, okay? Because what we see here is her pulling off a star dress mix between Leo and Virgo. That's the form name, Leo X Virgo form. And it had a very Sailor Moon esque transformation vibe. And I have to say, shout out to the animators. Shout out to the animators because they did so much justice for Lucy. Okay, they did so much, and I loved every single second of it. Just seeing this, like, again, you got to take it from my perspective. I've read the manga, and seeing this in the manga looked amazing. But the anime definitely took it to a whole nother level. And it gets me excited for what's to come for episode 10, okay? Because I'm gonna just say this. All you guys are seeing for anime onlys is just a transformation. Her actual, attack patterns and everything, you're gonna get that in the next episode. And it's gonna be amazing, okay? It's gonna be so, so amazing to see what happens with that next episode. I won't spoil anything. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil with what we're gonna get in the next episode, but just know it's gonna be a treat. It's gonna be a real treat to see with what we get with the next episode. And like I said, as a manga reader of 100 Years Quest, who's read the series of Fairy Tale, the original series, not necessarily from the beginning, but specifically for 100 Years Quest, I've always wondered how they would adapt this moment in particular for the anime with Lucy's Star Dress mix. And the way they handled it, like I said before, chef's kiss, beautiful, perfection. And just for that alone, this episode 9, I'm going to give it the perfection rating. Pure perfection, without a shadow of a doubt. So, episode 8 is like a great plus, and this episode is a pure perfection. All in all together, you get an amazing. It's an amazing rating between both these episodes combined. And like I said, we're only just scratching the surface here, okay? This is the arc, which, like I've mentioned for a while now, I would have thought this would have been like episode 11. Not even episode 11, like episode 12. It's kind of where I thought this part would take place. But when I think about the manga, and I'm not going to spoil like future events of this, Wood Dragon God arc, obviously not. But when I think about the material and what we have moving forward, it does make sense actually why we're getting the stuff, you know, 8 to 9 episodes in as opposed to say like 11 to 12 episodes in. And plus, like I said, what you're seeing right now with Lucy's just basic transformation, that's only just scratching the surface. Okay? And even next episode, I'll say this, barely scratching the surface too, okay? Because there is one other moment that does happen with Lucy, and I won't spoil it. But if you guys think, oh my god, this is incredible, this is like the peak of Lucy Heartphilia, y'all have no idea what you're in store for, okay? You have no idea what you're in store for because, oh, dude, I could gush about the next stuff with Lucy, okay? I really could. But I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that whenever that time comes. But for this moment here, like, with where we currently are with 100 Years Quest, like I said, overall between episodes 8 and 9, overall rating, amazing. Individual ratings. Episode 8, great plus. Episode 9, pure perfection. Without a shadow of a doubt. And like I said before, episode 10, we're finally hitting double digits. Which is a big thing. We're finally hitting double digits with 100 Years Quest. And given the episode title, I think that kind of gives me an idea of what chapter I think we're going to be ending off the next episode on. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong on where the next episode could end. I really could. Because I would have thought episode 8 ends off where Natsu sees, Aldoron, and like that's the cliffhanger for episode 8. But that's not what happened. And I'm actually okay with that because I much rather prefer we get the cliffhanger for 9 instead. Because, oh my god, the anticipation I have right now for tomorrow's episode is gonna be crazy. And I will say, when it comes to episode 10, there's a high chance I will do a live stream discussion for Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest episode 10 on Monday. There's a high chance. I'm not gonna guarantee that 100%, but do look forward to Monday. Because there is a high chance I can do the stream on Monday. There's a good chance. If not, the latest you could probably see me doing the stream will probably be Saturday, just like this week. But hopefully, fingers crossed, the stream for episode 10 is Monday. Fingers crossed. But with that being said, you guys, that's pretty much all I have to say when it comes to this live stream discussion / review on Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest episodes 8 and 9. Aldoron, the Wood the Wood Dragon God, and which was episode 8's title, and obviously episode 9 being Whiteout. And with that being said, you guys, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on these 2 episodes. What was your favorite part about it? How did you guys feel about the antics with Fairy Nail? The stuff with Whiteout, with Lucy's Star Dress mix transformation? And yeah, just, share your thoughts in the comment sections down below. And aside from that, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm Lucky Rave. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more Fairy Tail content, Hero Mashima content, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Laters.